So Tesla just had their latest earnings call, and let's just say it wasn't just about the financial numbers. They're essentially telling the world to completely rethink what Tesla even is. We're going to break down that massive strategic pivot and what it really means if you're trying to put a value on this company today.
And this quote from Elon Musk really says it all. The message is loud and clear. We're not just a car company anymore. The whole game is shifting. They're going all in on being a real-world AI company. And when they say real world, they mean it. This isn't some AI just living in the cloud. We're talking about intelligence that is out there, operating on our roads and inside factories.
Okay, but a vision that huge, it needs cash. A lot of cash. And, well, they've got it. They just pulled in a record-breaking $4 billion in free cash flow in a single quarter. That's the rocket fuel for everything we're about to talk about. The ambitious AI, the robots, all of it.
And get this, that's on top of a total cash pile that's now sitting at over $41 billion. Think about that for a second. This isn't just some rainy day fund. They're making it very clear this is their war chest, specifically to pour money into building out their AI, their own custom chips, and their robotics ambitions.
All right, so how does this big AI vision actually turn into products we can see and use? Well, it all starts with pillar number 1, autonomy at scale. This is about taking the foundation they've already built with full self-driving and just blowing it up to a massive scale.
And here we go. This is probably the single most important catalyst for the near future. Musk announced that the robo-taxi fleet in Austin is going to start operating without human safety drivers. And we're talking in a matter of months. This is huge. It's the moment this whole thing could flip from being a development project into a real commercial revenue-generating business.
So, because they're getting so confident in the software, they are slamming the accelerator on the hardware side. The target? To be building 3 million vehicles a year, just 24 months from now. For anyone watching the company, this is the key takeaway. The software's maturity is now directly driving the manufacturing scale-up.
And this production ramp isn't just for the cars we already know. Nope. They're introducing something completely new. The Cybercab. Production is slated to kick off in the second quarter of next year. And this thing, it's built from the ground up for one thing and one thing only: autonomy. That means no steering wheel, no pedals. Every single design choice is about one goal: get the cost per mile as low as robotically possible. Musk is calling it a killer app for transportation.
Okay, let's move on to pillar 2, the foundational compute. Because let's be real, none of that autonomy we just talked about is possible without some serious computing power. And this is where Tesla is building its technological moat with its own custom-designed silicone.
You really have to get the philosophy here. A general-purpose GPU, say from NVIDIA, is like a Swiss Army knife. It has to do hundreds of different things for hundreds of different customers. Tesla's AI5 chip, it's more like a surgeon's scalpel. It is designed for one job, running Tesla's AI. Since they're their own customer, they can just delete everything they don't need, making it simpler and way more efficient. And this right here is the result of that laser focus. The new AI5 chip isn't just a small step up, it is a jaw-dropping 40-fold increase in performance over the last generation. Let me say that again. Not 40%, that's 40 times the performance. That is an absolutely insane leap.
But it's not just about the raw power. It's about the economics, which are just as dramatic. This new architecture gives them a 10 times improvement in AI performance for every dollar they spend. That is the secret sauce. That kind of cost efficiency is what could make a robo-taxi network and a fleet of robots incredibly profitable. Now for pillar number 3. This is the big one, the long-term vision. Optimus and the billion-unit goal. This is where everything, the AI, the custom hardware, the manufacturing muscle, all converges into one single product.
And yeah, Musk is not mincing words here. He's straight up said that he believes Optimus could become the single most valuable product ever created. The idea is that it could completely reshape labor and the entire global economy.
So, you gotta ask, why hasn't someone else already done this at scale? Well, the single biggest roadblock is the supply chain. For cars, you can pick up the phone and order parts from tons of suppliers. For humanoid robots, that supply chain, it just doesn't exist. So Tesla has to build it all from scratch. Everything from the actuators in the arms to the sensors in the fingers.
The production goals they're laying out are just astronomical, but they have a clear roadmap. It starts with a production prototype next quarter. By the end of next year, they're going to start building a 1 million-unit production line. From there, the long-term vision scales up to tens of millions and maybe even hundreds of millions of units.
It's wild.
Okay, so let's tie these three pillars together into what they're calling the integrated growth engine. The absolute key for anyone watching this company is to understand these aren't separate businesses. They are a deeply interconnected, self-reinforcing system.
Think about how this ecosystem feeds itself. The millions of cars out there act like data-gathering robots, constantly training the AI. That super smart AI runs on the custom AI5 chip, which will power both the cars and the Optimus robot. All the manufacturing expertise they learned building cars, they'll apply that directly to scaling robots. And their energy business? It's providing the megapacks to power the massive data centers needed for all that training. Each part of the business makes the other stronger.
And that brings us to the final and most important question this whole strategy forces us to ask. Today's valuation models are pretty much all based on cars, and maybe a little bit of energy. But if Musk is even partially right, what if the market for autonomous humanoid robots ends up being bigger, maybe way bigger, than the market for autonomous cars? If that happens, you have to throw out the old playbook. It forces you to ask, what does Tesla look like then?